Okay, we're starting this morning's walk in the town of Eulalia, starting by the port. It's very foggy today. Very, very foggy today. There's a little dog that comes and says hello every day. Hola chiquitina. Hola chiquitina. Hola chiquitina. Mira, te vamos a inmortalizar. Hola bonita. Hola bonita. La estoy grabando. Uy. ¿Todo bien?
Sí.
Nada, a darme el paseo.
Un paseo, cuidado con la niebla.
Sí, sí, está tapado, ¿eh? Hasta luego. So, yeah, this is a marina of Santoralia with restaurants on the side. Loads of boats. It's not very common to have fog, that's why I wanted to record it today, because as it doesn't happen very often, it's nice to record the peculiarity of a foggy day. It just takes over the island and you seem to be floating on a cloud because you don't see anything out of a few meters out of the horizon. That's when all the memories of these spooky, foggy movies comes back into your mind. That's a typical yaut, L-L-A-U-T. Typical fishing boats from here. This one's pretty run down, to be honest. It's always parked there. It's never really in use. All these boats, loads of them, and more to come. Some fishermen leaving. They normally leave earlier, around 6 o'clock. It's a late start for them. The other ones are probably already out there. Very calm waters. Busy in summer, very calm in winter. All these bars and restaurants are closed in winter. Look at that beauty. A lot of money here in the marina. And we don't even see the big ones, which are on the other side over there. You have to go all the way around. Not like you can go accessing it from here. Another beauty. Amazing boats, eh? Yeah. You see the big ones are over there on the other side. These ones are also very big. In Ibiza town, they had to build a new part of the port to have the big yachts in, but they don't fit in the normal port. Some of the boats or the yachts, they're so big they can't even come in the port. They have to stay out and have one of these ones that we just filmed do the shopping and bring the people in and out. We had a few years ago, a couple of years ago, the biggest sailing boat existing think it's Russian. It's got 4 masts. Hola. And it's doesn't even look like a boat when you see it from afar. You don't see it from close because it can't come into the port or any ports of the islands, really. And you see it from afar, and it's you don't even know what it is. It's got a weird shape. It's the biggest sailing boat existing. I can't even imagine what was the cost of it. It was said at some point when it came to Ibiza, clear waters. So yeah, the peculiarity of the fog today. So this is the walkway of Eulalia. I come out at this time because later on you can't really see that much because there's so many people walking around. I'd rather come early so at least I can film the place and give you more of an idea of what it looks like. This is a non-smoking beach with Wi-Fi. So you don't see really far, you see, the amount of fog. Normally you see all the way out there, but not today. This is the main square of the village, Eulalia or Salamera. This little thing here is familiar, it's called. It's part of the legends here of the island. They have different shapes. There's a whole exposition of them. They say if you leave them something to eat and maybe a cookie and some milk, they will help you in the work in the country. And they usually come from deep below, from the waters of the wells, and if you ask for their assistance, they will come and help you. This used to be a water well for the women to come and get their water. It's called the Bash or Spwet. It's long closed since it doesn't have water anymore, so it's become just a historical part of the village's habits and rhythms that have disappeared gradually. The river that we have in the village is also the only river existing in the Balearic Islands, but it's been dry for over 50 years before people used to not only swim in it, doggy gatherings. Strange looking trees. very calm waters. If the fog lifts up, people will come to the beach, but if it doesn't, it probably won't, because it's pretty fresh this morning. This is a building that was built by, I think he was from Egypt or from somewhere there, from some Arabic country. The dome there. Very well taken care of, the gardens of the community, of the village. Continually all year long, they plant different flowers. Clean very well the village. This fountain at night lights up in different colors and brings quite a trippy scenery. There's people coming to drink. Yeah. Oh, I'm here to bathe or to drink. Okay. Continue towards the Roman bridge. So the beach we just passed was Santa Eulalia beach. This is the next beach called El Rio. Playa del Rio, which means the beach of the river, because the river is just on the side of this beach at the end over there. Foggy. Quite a trippy scenery with a fog. They're setting the beach hammocks or beds, more like, for this restaurant, which is part of this hotel. Nearly stepped on a pool. Not ideal. When I go asparagus picking, oh, look at that flower. Okay. When I go asparagus picking in the field around the village in winter time, so it's about from December to March more or less, I eat wild asparagus all winter, picking asparagus up. It's also the grounds where people leave their dogs run free and do their needs. The amount of time I step on one of those, it's ridiculous. Nobody out for breakfast yet, or maybe they're inside. because it's pretty fresh.
Yo voy a tener como tiene acá que yo lo vi ayer.
We're coming to the river. This is a little bridge that goes over the river to another part called Siesta. So this is the river, but it's salty water in it and low tide. So in the last big rain we had about 7 years ago, that's the only time the river has been running the other way. That means from inland towards the sea. Right now it's just the seawater going inland, bringing seaweeds and creating this kind of riverside. The big hotel there. This used to be the river when it was still running. And these are the different branches of the river. If anybody wants to pause and read that. A bit of explanation of the history. So all these are cañas. They're not bamboos, they're cañas. It's a bit softer than the bamboo. You can't really build with that like you can with bamboo. Bamboo is very, very strong. This isn't as strong, but same on the other side. But they're very practical for many things. One of them being to collect almonds and carobs. Here we have carob trees on the island. And to collect them in September, you pick these cañas, not too thick and not too thin. There's the thin that will break, the thick will be too heavy. And you dry them, you have to peel them and dry them. And then you use them to bang in between the branches to make the almonds and the carobs fall from the tree. That's the way they collect them here on the island. And on different islands, unless it's industrialized, and then they have different methods with tractors that kind of shake the trunk It's not very good for the tree. These are eucalyptus trees. They're on all the way down and up. We have ducks in the river. And a bit of fish. Not that people really come fishing here. The water's not very clean. Stagnated. You see here we have the seaweeds that block the way through of the seawater to the top. So twice or 3 times a year they have to come with a big truck and empty the riverbed from seaweeds. And we've got ducks here and ducklings. Little babies that are born now. See the ducklings over there at the end? I don't know if you can see them. They're over there. Very small. Oh, here you've got one closer. Teeny weeny. Sometimes some of the female ducks, they can have up to 10, 15 ducklings, but then the amount that survives is minimal. So this is the river, how the water used to fall in the 50s. There used to be a lot of activity. Here's another detailed description if anybody wants to pause it and read it. This greenish weed is not normal. It's not normally there. I don't know what caused it, but I haven't seen that very often. Buen día. Okay. Oh, you can see the site. Hola, Mish. Hola. Sight from above. It's so green, man. It's supposed to be that green. The water. There must be a reason to it. Maybe chemicals in the air, like what burnt the trees this winter with what we call the Kalima. So this is the Roman bridge from above. This used to be the old pathway to the village, the only one. Then they built this bridge, bigger one, in the early 1900s. And that's the one now that is used by cars. But this used to be the original one. So this is Roman time construction. Abandoned orange trees. They're not taken care of anymore. It used to be part of a finca. A finca is the name of a peasant house or an inland house. People that had the house out there in the land and worked the land. It's a finca. there's more about the construction of this bridge in early 1900. A few pictures. This is a picture of this, the Edda. This is where they used to work the grain. So where the horses. And this is the description. So early 1900. This is an old path also that used to take people to that path on the Roman bridge. So from the land out into the village. There weren't that many houses back in the time. They were very dispersed. That's a fig tree. Hola. Hola. Hola, mamita. Ducks and goats. And chickens. Hens and roosters. Who's there? So that's what it looked like when they worked the land. See, all those fields were plowed, irrigation system. A bit of a description here, if you want to pause it. A sikya, this is the plan of the village and all this irrigation system that used to exist. So there's a part that is up there. This is all the old irrigation system. This house that we're going towards used to be a water mill. Well, it still is. It's a museum of how it used to be. So they repaired and they have it very taken care of, and you can visit it. So you have the traditional clothes exhibition of traditional clothes, traditional tools, the way they used to live, a bit of everything in there, which is really nice to see. They arranged it because it was a ruin, and the town hall took it in. That's what it looked like when it was in ruin. El Molido d'Alt. Camplanetes is the name of the farm. Andalusian origins, 14th century. And this is what it looks like now. I'm going to show it to you. I've got a bit of a garden here. And this is the house. So they've really brought it back. ruin. You can visit it. And the water irrigation system, this is part of it. The water comes from inside the house. It's got a mill inside the house that grinds the wheat in there. And this is all the irrigation system that used to go to the fields around. Quite beautiful. It's a bit taken over with plants here. Well over there. Orange and lemon trees, they're still in blossom. They're getting to the end of the blossoming. This is such an amazing perfume. So delicate. And when it's warm, you've got bees in them. You literally hear them. So the village, the old village up there, is completely taken over by fog, which is quite nice to see. Vines. They do wine here on the island. They call it vino país. País means farmer. Farmer or peasant, but in the good way, not in the. And some people take that word a bit in the wrong way. A farmer, a peasant, it's the same. It's one that lives on the land, of the land. We'll talk a bit more about the irrigation system. So it used to be pretty widespread. All this zone was benefiting from the river. And this water system is here on top of the wall. It goes all the way down there. So here you got the wall. So it used to bring water to different parts around the village. A canal system, water canal. You don't want to get caught in that. These they give fruit, blackberries, when it's the season. And come and pick some up. I picked my asparagus on this hill. And in the fields around that we just walked by. You have to know how to find asparagus. Some people, they see me coming back with loads of asparagus. Say, wow, where did you pick them? We'll never find any. You have to know. Have to know where they are. Recognize the bush. And yeah, learn how to detect them, to see them. Some places they just don't exist. We're going up to the Puig de Missa, which means the hill of the church. So Santa Eulalia, the name Santa Eulalia, is a woman that got sanctified by the church, by the Vatican. Funny enough, she didn't want to marry, she didn't want to be part of anything. She wanted to have her life. And she got hunted down. And that was in Catalonia, it wasn't here in Ibiza. They put her in a barrel, wooden barrel. I don't know if it was nails or glass that they put in the barrel with her, and throwed her down a hill. And they killed her. And after, she became a saint. It's a weird story. It's also written somewhere here. See if I find the panel. There's a museum down there, ethnographic. That shows the traditions of the village and of Ibiza in general. So this is the church of Santa Eulalia. I like that. A dragon. And that's the Santa Eulalia up there. Saint Eulalia. Santa is saint in Spanish. Saint Eulalia. Let's go to this panel. So you have a bit of description of the church itself. So this is the church from inside. This is a description. 15th century. In the year 1276. The place named Santa Eulalia appears without a doubt. Here you can read it. And this is the plan. Yeah, very beautiful. Very squarey buildings. Oh, no visibility whatsoever. No one can see the hills. Creepy. This is Higo Chumbera. It's called it's a cactus called Cactus Chumbera, and you get the also get some figs from that, prickly figs. You definitely want to be very careful when you pick them with gloves or with clippers. Otherwise you fill your hands with hundreds of minute little pricks. Very hard to remove them because they're so small. This is called El Corral, which would be where they would have the animals. So we're going to see the view from above of where we just walked, the Roman bridge. And this is the panoramic. This is a bit of description if you want to zoom it, pause it and zoom it. These are the fields, how they used to look like. All this was a very abundant land of crops and of yeah, it all used to be plowed and planted. So we came from down there, and this is the Roman bridge from above. No visibility. There's a hill there normally. Well, it is there, but we just can't see it. It's normally very visible. So these are the leftovers of the farming lands. All this used to be farming lands. All around the village it used to be farming land. Then it started to get built, and it stopped being farming land. It just became, there are few fields that are left, not many. This is where they used to keep the crops. And those little huts. There are a few around the area, around the church. Taken the other way down. Might be nicer. We're gonna go down the stairs here. So in the old times, the church used to be the safe place for the people of the village and surroundings, close surroundings, to keep safe from attacks, invasion. They would all gather in the church because there were no windows. If any, they were very high and very small. So they would all gather in the church. Big thick doors, and keep safe in there. We're gonna have a bit of a... Oh, this is a caper bush. You see the capers here? See capers. This is the flower first. So first the flower, and then it becomes caper. Lavender. too busy to try to cross anywhere else in the crossing. Because they will stop, hopefully, yes. It's quieter. I think this is part of the fields that are still left over farming lands. This is an almond tree, carob tree, olive trees, lemon tree over there. Loads of lemons. Orange trees. You've got another era where they used to work the grain. This is the cisterna. And down there you've got a water irrigation system also. This is an apricot tree. Over there you've got a cherry tree, a fig tree. Yeah. Nice. Nice. That must be a cherry tree also. Parking on the island has become a problem. If you go to Ibiza town, you have to park out in the big parkings that are offered to people, but then you have to walk like 20 minutes to get to town. That is the only way. Otherwise, you pay a fortune for the parking lot that is in Ibiza town on the port. Okay, yeah, you're in town. But man, I think you pay like €3.50 half an hour. It's ridiculous. You're there for an hour, you pay €7. That hurts. So you're better off having good shoes, parking out, and come walking in. I could have walked to the town hall zone. I can still go there and show you. Those trees are beautiful. This is the back part of where we were before, that restaurant. This one here. These are the apartments of the restaurant. Okay, we're back on the walkway next to the sea. I'm still going to show you the town hall, which is a beautiful building, old building. It used to be the building of the Guardia Civil, which is a part of the police system here. that this one is more part of the military. Guardia Civil is military. We have the Policía Municipal, which is from the village matters, in the village matters. Guardia Civil is from anything that happens on the road, traffic problems, accidents. So what is now the town hall used to be the quarters of the Guardia Civil. Lots of stories in that place. In the 60s when the hippies used to come here. Oh, wow. All the stories. They were detained every so often. Just for being who they were. Free spirits. In the time of Franco, which was quite rigid, fear-based, Guardia Civil had all the power. They could say and do as they pleased. But it has changed. Become more civilized. Still not lifting up the fog. Just going to go back to the middle point of the village, the main square, and show you that building, the town hall, which is really quite beautiful. There's a fisherman leaving over there. Over there. This one. There's the camera. This one there. This one's leaving to go fishing. We're out on the beach. People having an early swim. There are some people that go swimming every single day of the year. Northern Europe, though. It's a bit too cold for the Southern Europeans. Northern Europeans, they come here in winter and say, oh, the water's so nice. I do get in the water in winter, but it's not swimming, definitely. It's a dip. Barely.
Hola Pepi, ¿qué tal? Mira bien aquí con el... Muy bien, hasta luego. Pues sí. Yo quería coger niños de estos cuando ya las pegamos.
This is prepared for wheelchairs, and then you have special assistance with floating gear for people that are, that can't walk or have some sort of discapacity, which I don't like the word. That means they're not what? Capable? It's not a discapacity, it's just a difference, that's all. I've got a friend who had an accident very young. He was in this building. And I hadn't seen him for 20 years. We used to work in tourism in the 80s, 86, something like that. And next time I saw him, he was in a wheelchair. I said, wow, what happened to Mama? And he told me he had a very rough accident, paralyzed from the waist down. That was it. I didn't know that. Life can change as easy and quickly as that. So these are the stalls, India. The stalls getting ready to open in a bit. The whole square is filled with stalls, except on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, they all go to a market called Escana or Mercadillo Hippie, Mercadillo Flea Market. They sell a bit of everything from China made to India made to, yeah, a bit of everything. It's a big market. It's enormous. It used to be a hippie market early in the 60s when the hippies started coming here. And they did their own thing. They sold what they did by hand. This is one of the cafes I like to go to. Come goes me. Old, very old family that has been running this one. And the other one that has been here forever is the other one across. The royalty. They've both been here forever. They were known to be from two different political parties, so there was always a lot of fight between each other. So this is a town hall at the end. This is the fountain to fall. Just in front of it. At night it's also very lit. We've got another family act here. And another refuge is open. Nice, no? Very nice. They brought it back. Like they repaired it. And the refuge is here, down here. It's closed now, but it opens up later on. Okay. So this is gonna be it for today. The walk about Santa Maria. See you next time, everyone.